Good morning. It's 9 o'clock. The Lyon County Board of County Commissioners for a budget meeting today. It's Monday, May 20th, 2024. And the agenda today, action will be taken on all items unless otherwise noted. No action will be taken on any item until it's properly agendized. To avoid meeting disruptions, please place cell phones and beepers in the silent mode or turn them off during the meeting. Board reserves the right to take items in a different order. To accomplish business in the most efficient manner, items may be combined for consideration. Items may be pulled or removed from the agenda at any time. Restrictions and comments by the general public. Any such restriction must be reasonable and may restrict the time, place, and manner of the comments, but may not restrict comments based upon viewpoints. Board of County Commissioners convening as other boards. Members of the Board of County Commissioners also serve as the Liquor Board, Central Line Vector Control District Board, Mason Valley Mosquito Abatement District Board, Walker River Weed Control District Board, Willow Creek General Improvement District Board, the Silver Springs General Improvement District Board, and during this meeting may convene as any of those bodies or any of those boards as indicated on this or a separately posted agenda. And we may break today between 11:30 and 1:30. Depends on how quick Mr. Foley works today. And today's roll call, all members of the commission are in chambers. We'll start off today with a pledge of allegiance. And if we'll have Commissioner Hendricks lead us in that.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public participation. Got many of them today. It is anticipated that public participation will be held at this time, though it may be returned to at any time during the agenda. Citizens wishing to speak during public participation are asked to state their name for the record and will be limited to 3 minutes. The board will conduct public comment after discussion of each agenda action item, but before the board takes any action. Number 4 for possible action, review and adoption of agenda. We should have had a chance to do that. Do we have any commissioner input to the agenda? Didn't see any hands. Nobody's in here. So you got, thank you. So anything from commissioners on the agenda? Anything from the public? Then I will look for a motion to accept the agenda as written.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the agenda as presented.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Motion by Commissioner Henderson and a second by Commissioner Jacobson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Budget 5A, time certain, 9 a.m. Public hearing on the tentative budget for fiscal year 2024 through 2025.
And on these, we're gonna have lots of public participation opportunities today. So you would just open the public hearing, take any public input there may be, and if there's none, just close it, or at the end of public input, close it. And then move on to the next agenda.
I don't see anybody jumping up, so we'll press on.
Go ahead and close the public input.
We'll close 5A, close the public hearing on this, and go to 5B for possible action, approve the final budget for fiscal year 2024 to 2025. Mr. Foley.
Josh Foley, Lyon County Comptroller for the record. So at this time, I need to outline what changes happened between the tentative budgets and the final budget. So that is before you. So the changes, overall, there's a 1% increase in the salary table that we put through on those. There's also an increase in the Sagasi Peak power line from 60,000 to 80,000. It's a $20,000 increase. And what that does, instead of just replacing 5 or 6 poles that are bad, it replaces those poles, but it also replaces the wire all the way from the bottom, the 3 miles from the bottom of the hill to the top of the hill. So we take care of all of that and have insulated wire instead of bare copper going up to Sagasi Peak. So that's the difference there. in total, as we take a look at the budget for Lyon County, salaries increased by $351,425. Benefits increased by $93,333. Capital outlay increased by $20,000. Contingency increased by $13,795, and all those added up come up to ending fund balances decreasing by $478,552. So those are the changes between tentative and final. In addition to that, in the packet, there's a letter from the Department of Taxation that says that they examined our budget, tentative budget, and it's in compliance with law and appropriate regulations. And that has to be read into the record, so she has it for the record. Any questions?
Thank you,
Anderson?
Mr. Chair. Without looking through every line item, the assessment for the public lands center is included.
It is included and was included in the tentative budget that was filed with the
Okay.
state. Yes.
Thank you.
Any other commissioner input, questions, comments? Don't see any public again. So,
Mr.
Yeah.
Chairman, how can I add?
Yeah.
So the salaries is 1% on top of the salary increase that we approved in the tentative budget, which was, I believe, 5% or
4.
4. So now it's 5% total.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's all I had. Thank you.
Good. All right. So we are back on approving the final budget for 2024-2025. No further input. Do I have a motion to approve this budget as presented?
I move that we approve the final budget for fiscal year 2024 through 2025.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Hendricks and a second by Commissioner Henderson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Did you want to just check and see if there was any public input on that?
I did ask for public.
Oh, you did
Yeah,
on that?
yeah.
Good.
Right.
Okay.
Saying
You're-
there's hardly anybody on the screen, so it's pretty easy to see a hand going up and there's nobody
Sure.
in here, so that's pretty simple too. So we can move through that pretty quickly.
Nice.
Did you have something? Yes, Commissioner Jacobson.
Yes, thank you, Chairman Hawkins. I just want to thank you for your team. When we went through the tentative budget, it was very thorough and appreciate these few changes and letting us know. But again, good hats off to your team.
Okay, so we're going to recess to reconvene as Willow Creek General Improvement District Board. Again, public participation. If you wish to have public participation, please identify yourself and you'll have 3 minutes. So we will move past item 6 and on to item 7. Time certain, 9 a.m., public hearing on the tentative budget for fiscal year 2024-2025. And we have any input on that public hearing? Anybody want to say anything anywhere in the room? Okay. All right, we'll move on to 7B.
If you'll close the public hearing.
Oh, we'll close the public hearing at 7A. All right. 7B for possible action, approve the final budget for fiscal year 2024 to 2025.
Josh Fuller, Lyon County Comptroller, for the record. There were no changes between the tentative budget and the final budget for the Willow Creek General Improvement District. And we did receive a letter to read into the record from the Department of Taxation stating the tentative budget was in compliance with the law and appropriate regulations.
Okay. Do we have any input from the commissioners? I do have one thing I wanted to ask about. Really didn't have anything to do with money. There were 3 boards. When you look at, on this one, if you look at page 77, we have a reduction in population at the end of 6/30/2025. And as I said, there's actually 3 places. How do we come up with, on this one, there's only a reduction of like 46 people, but then there's about 100 in another one, and then there's 1,000, almost 1,000 in, I think, Willow Creek. how do we come up with that loss of population?
So the difference was, when we went through previous year, we went through the assessor's voting records and took a look at what was there. This year, what we've done, because the voting records are, they're growing and they aren't as accurate what we did because we had the assessors, not the assessors, the state demographers estimate per household in the different areas. And we went and got the actual household information from the assessors and used that. You only get that once every 10 years. And so we were able to use that and true up the data there.
Okay. I just, because I know it says at the end of this year, like this on page 77, we're at about 300 for the Willow Creek, I should say. And then all of a sudden, the end of next year, we dropped to 250.
Yes.
And so I just looking at that saying, well,
Yeah,
the other ones are even more. So, all right. Just wondering how you came up with a drop in population when we basically gained 3,000 according to your statistics for the overall county.
They're all taken.
Yeah, they're all on Dayton. All right. Okay, well, I just wondering how we come up with those calculations. So, no further questions from commissioners, nothing from the public. So we need a motion on the Willow Creek Improvement District budget.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the final budget for fiscal year 2024-2025.
I have a second.
Second.
Okay. So motion by Commissioner Henderson and a second by Commissioner Jacobson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Moving right along, we have closure on the Willow Creek public comments. Anybody have any further comments? Seeing none, I will adjourn to reconvene as Mason Valley Mosquito Abatement District Board. Item number 9, public participation for the Mason Valley Mosquito Abatement District Board. Any public comment on that? Seeing none, I will move down to item 10, time certain at 9 a.m. Well, we're already past that. Public hearing on the tentative budget fiscal year 2024-2025. Public hearing, you're up.
So at this time, just take any public comment and we'll close the public hearing there after with any public comment.
All right, seeing none, we'll close the public hearing and move on to 10B for possible action, approve the final budget for fiscal year 2024-2025 for the Mosquito Abatement District.
Okay, Josh Foley, Lyon County Comptroller for the record. So we have a change because we do have salaries in this one. There's an increase of 1% to the salary table between the tentative and final budget, which means salaries increased by $1,760. Benefits increased by $421, contingency increased by $66, and ending fund balance decreased by $2,247. And in addition to that, we did receive a letter from the Department of Taxation stating that the tentative budget was in compliance with law and appropriate regulations.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the commissioners? Seeing none, any public? No public input. So we will look for a motion on item 10B.
Move to approve the final budget for the fiscal year 2024-2025.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Keller and a second by Commissioner Hendricks. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. We'll go to our number 11 for public comment. Seeing no public comment, then we will move on to the adjournment to reconvene as Walker River Weed Control District Board. Item number 12, public comment for the weed control. Seeing none, I will move on to 13, budget. 13A, time certain, 9 a.m. Public hearing on the tentative budget for fiscal year 2024-2025. And we'll open up the public hearing. Nothing. Seeing no comment on the public hearing, I guess we will close for that. Let me get to the right page here. No real input. Public hearing then is closed and we'll move on to 13B for possible action. Approve the final budget for fiscal year 2024 to 2025. All those in favor, or I should say, better get a motion first. And we'll get all the steps. Yeah. Oh, you've got a comment. Go
I
ahead.
do get it.
That's right. I didn't see anything on here, so I figured you were done.
Josh Boyd, Lyon County Comptroller for the record, there was the changes between the tentative and final budget. We had a 1% increase in the salary table between the tentative and the final. Salaries increased by $1,032, benefits increased by $153, contingency increased by $35, which means ending fund balance decreased by $1,220, which is all those added up. In addition to that, we did receive a letter from the Department of Taxation stating the tentative budget was in compliance with law and appropriate regulations.
Okay, thank you. Now we'll do that again here for see no comments. None. Good. We'll take a motion on 13B.
Make a motion to approve the final budget for the fiscal year 2024, 2025 for the Walker River Weed Control District.
Second.
Okay. We have motion by Commissioner Jacobson and a second by Commissioner Keller. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. And we'll end with a final public comment for the weed control district. Seeing none, we will move on. Adjourn to reconvene as Central Lyon County Vector Control District Board. Item 15, public comment for the Lyon County Vector Control District Board. Being none, I will move on to 16. 16A, time certain, public hearing on the tentative budget for fiscal year 2024, 2025. So the public hearing's open. Seeing nobody jumping up, we'll move on to 16B for possible action.
What was
Oh,
that?
I'm sorry, close the public hearing. Yep. Shouldn't get ahead of myself every time. For or for possible action, approve the final budget for fiscal year 2024, 2025.
Josh Boyd, Lyon County Comptroller for the record, there were no changes between the tentative and the final budget for this. And we did receive a letter from the Department of Taxation stating that the tentative budget was in compliance with law and appropriate regulations.
Okay. Commissioners, questions, comments? Public? Nothing from the board, nothing from the room. So we will move on then with a motion.
Move to approve the final budget for fiscal year 2024 through 2025.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion by Commissioner Hendricks and a second by Commissioner Henderson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. 17. Public participation for the board here. Any public participation? Seeing none, I will move on to adjourn to reconvene the Silver Springs General Improvement District Board. 18, public participation for the Silver Springs General Improvement District Board. Any public participation? Seeing none. Move on to 19A, time certain, 9 o'clock, public hearing on the tentative budget for fiscal year 2024, 2025. Public hearings open. Don't see anybody. Public hearings closed. We'll go to 19B for possible action, approve the final budget for fiscal year 2024, 2025. Mr. Fuller.
Josh Boyd, Lyon County Comptroller for the record, there were no changes between the tentative budget and the final budget for this district. And we did receive a letter from the Department of Taxation stating that the tentative budget was in compliance with the law and appropriate regulations.
Thank you. So. Any commissioner comments or inputs? Public comment? Seeing none, we'll look for a motion. Go ahead, jump in, anybody?
Move to approve the final budget for fiscal year 2024 through 2025.
Have a second?
Second.
So I have a motion by Commissioner Hendricks and a second by Commissioner Keller. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Final public participation for the Silver Springs General Improvement District Board. Anybody have any comments from the public? Seeing none, we'll adjourn to reconvene as the Lyon County Board of Commissioners. Now we're back. Item 21, any commissioner comments?
I just want to thank Josh. You always make this a very clear cut and simple process for us.
Commissioner Henderson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It's just have to note that since we did the budget hearing, we didn't have an invocation. That's probably fitting.
We'll go with Commissioner Keller.
I want to thank Josh for the presentation, the effort you've done. I've been in here before where it wasn't quite so smooth over the years. And I think some other counties are a little jealous of our process right now. So thank you very much.
Commissioner Jacobson.
I already thanked you for on our main budget, but again, well done, Josh, and good job with your team. Tell
You
them
make it-
thanks.
yep, You make it simple and everything is clear, so I appreciate that. And you keep me straight. Thank you. I'm gonna get to item 22 then, public participation or final public participation. You have anything to say, please get up here to the front. Seeing nothing on Zoom and nobody getting up here, then we will move on to item 23. Do we have a closed session? No closed session. So at 9:21, a new world record, I will adjourn the meeting for our public hearing on the budget.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.